Well, good morning. Do you know a Prince of Cups? This is the Prince of Cups from the Harris Crowley uh, deck. I'm going to talk about it more in just a minute. It's sort of significant in my life because it represents the 30-degree period of my father's birthday and also the birthday of Grady McMurtry, my OTO initiator, or one of them, uh, and in a sense, sort of the father of the resurrected OTO. He has since passed away, but anyway, there's the Prince of Cups. So I know a bit about the personality traits of both my father and and Grady, and I probably know a few more Prince of Cups in my life. Perhaps you're a Prince of Cups. And let's see, on the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic, that's sort of the generic Prince look, except for the specific coloring things. There's the Enochian sigil or seal of water, and there is the air of water or the subangle of air on the water elemental tablet. And there is the tattva symbol that represents air of water. And there's, of course, is the Enochian square from the Grand Cross of the elemental tablet. Okay, it's found in a different position. Uh, well, anyway, uh, so there's a lot of spirits. There's lots of spirits, or traditional spirits anyway, assigned to this. Uh, I want to digress briefly because those of you who work with tarot cards, some of you who read cards for others, and but just for your own spiritual edification, uh, the nature of the court cards can be difficult to uh, wrap your meat brain around. Okay, uh, if they appear in the reading, you go, "Oh well, do you know anybody a blonde guy with a car? uh, who maybe has an alcohol problem? At least we can pinpoint it down to birthdays and things like that. October 13th through November 12th. My father was born November 11th. Uh, but wouldn't it be nice? Okay, because the Prince of Cups, and indeed all 16 of the tarot court cards, represent profound and very specific elemental environments. And each of those elemental environments, in their own way, reflects universal dynamics of existence. Air, Prince of water, cups. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just, okay, I'm going to get in one of those moods where in meditation I can astrally project into a specific frequency of consciousness, in a specific layer of heaven. Heaven meaning the totality of the entire works. Wouldn't it be nice to go into the land of the Prince of Cups and have the Prince of Cups show you around. That's the general idea behind at least one application of the ability to scry in the spirit vision. And a doorway, let's say that you've gotten pretty good, at least in your imagination, in your meditation imagination, you get pretty good at astrally projecting. Uh, Perhaps you start by laying down in bed at night and just imagining a ghost image of yourself standing at the foot of your bed. Now, you can do that. Everybody can do that. I can just imagine that I am standing, looking at me, laying down in bed. I can imagine that happening. It's easy. And it's also easy to just like that look through the eyes of the vaporous image standing at the foot of the bed, looking back at you. You've done it. It's as easy as that. You have astrally projected. You have implanted your consciousness, the center of your consciousness, into a ghost image of yourself. And if you can look down at yourself and you can actually start to see the wall behind you and the bedstand and all the other goodies in the room, because your imagination gives them life. But in a sense, it's more than your imagination, because you're looking out of the eyes of that character. Now, that can only happen at first when you practice it. It only happens just for fleeting seconds, and you're bouncing back and forth and back and forth. Oh, no, I'm laying in bed here. Oh, no, yeah. But you're looking back. You can get really good at staying there. That's all I'm saying. You can get really good at staying there. And the better you get at staying there, the more able you are in more technical magical operations to transfer your consciousness into another frequency level of consciousness. You can call it heavens or aethers or whatever you want, even Sephiroth. Okay, you can. That symbol right there, it's a silver crescent and a beautiful blue dot. Now, the crescent is the tattva, Hindu tattva symbol of water. So that's the cups part. And the blue is air in water. Okay, maybe this guy's got some carbonated or effervescent. That guy in this cup there, he's got Perrier. Or as we get our bubbly water is Gerolsteiner. We love Gerolsteiner. The bubbles in the water. Okay, that's a metaphor for this. But in meditation, you can actually use that tattva symbol to project into the world of the Prince of Cups. And the technique is sort of to use the ghost image of that. But the same magic that allowed you, laying in bed, to just pretend you've got your astral body at the foot of the bed looking at you, and you transferring your consciousness to that same ease of transfer of consciousness can happen when you stare at that kind of under a bright light for a while, and then suddenly turn it away so you can see the ghost image of that. And that ghost image, the colors shift. You're almost like seeing the soul of the colors. You can project through that ghost image and into the opening act of a vision of Prince of Cups land. I know that's kind of stupid, but anyway, it's not stupid. Uh, it's getting you in touch with a broader spectrum of consciousness that you already inhabit. Okay, what was I going to do here? I was going to read to you a bit about what Crowley says about the Prince of the Prince of Cups here, and he's not particularly kind. Let's see if I can find it here. Where'd it go? In his general remarks, I'm reading from the Book of Thoth here, in the general remarks about princes in general. Now, the princes are the Vav sub-element of their element. So, king or knight, fire, yod, queens, water, hay, prince, air, Vav, and then the princesses are the hay, the final hay, which is the earth, and princesses and hay, okay? But here's what Crowley says. It's just one paragraph. The princes represent the forces of the letter Vav in the name. Yod, He, Vav, He, the name. The prince is the son of the queen, the old king's daughter, by the knight who has won her. He is therefore represented as in a chariot going forth to carry the combined energy of his parents. He is the active issue of their union and its manifestation. He is the intellectual image of their union. A union of mom and dad, Yod and He. His action is consequently more enduring than that of his forebears. In one respect, indeed, he acquires a relative permanence because he is the published record of what has been done in secret. He is also the dying God, redeeming his bride in the hour and by virtue of his murder. Yod He, okay, because he marries he takes the final He as his bride, making her the queen, making him the king, okay. Okay. This is what he says about the Prince of Cups in general. The Prince of Cups represents the airy part of water. On one hand, elasticity, volatility, hydrostatic equilibrium. Now, knowledge of all of that stuff is really helpful in a tarot reading. Actually, I'm only being semi-facetious because it can be really helpful in a tarot reading. On the other hand, the catalytic faculty and the energy of steam. He rules from the 21st degree of Libra to the 20th degree of Scorpio. He is a warrior, partly clad in armor, which seems, however, rather a growth than a covering. His helmet is surrounded by an eagle, and his chariot, which represents a shell. Oh, sort of missed that. It's a shell. Is also drawn by an eagle. His wings are tenuous, almost of gas. Okay, see those clouds coming out of there? Those are his wings. This is a reference to his power of volatilization. Volatilization. Understood in the spiritual sense. In his right hand, he bears a lotus, sacred to the element of water, and in his left hand is a cup from which issues a serpent. The third totem, the scorpion, is not shown in the picture, for the putrefaction which it represents is an extremely secret process beneath his... Okay, now this brings in the Scorpio nature of the card, because it's like 2/3 Scorpio. Beneath his chariot is the calm, stagnant water of a lake upon which rain falls heavily. Okay. The whole symbol of this card is extremely complicated, for Scorpio is the most mysterious of signs. And the manifested portion of it, symbolized by the eagle, is in reality the least important part of his nature. The moral characteristics of a person pictured in this card are subtlety, secret violence, and craft. He is intensely secret, an artist in all his ways. On the surface, he appears calm and imperturbable, but this is a mask of the most intense passion. He is, on the surface, susceptible to external influences, but he accepts them only to transmute them to the advantage of his secret designs. What he might think is his secret designs. Okay. He is thus completely without conscience in the ordinary sense of the word, and is therefore usually distrusted by his neighbors. Now, I certainly can't say that about my father. Okay. The secrecy part, yeah, big time, but no, he had quite a conscience. They feel they do not and can never understand him, his neighbors. Thus he inspires unreasonable fear. He is, in fact, perfectly ruthless. He cares intensely for power, wisdom, and his own aims. He feels no responsibility to others, and although his abilities are so immense, he cannot be relied upon to work in harness. In other words, he does not play well with other children. In the I Ching, the airy part of water is represented by the 61st hexagram Kung Fu. This is one of the most important figures in the Yi. It moves even pigs and fishes. It's Inner Truth is its title. Okay, and leads to great good fortune. Its dignities and correspondences are manifold and great, for it is also a big Li, L-I, the trigram of Sol, formed by doubling the lines. By its shape, it suggests a boat, but also the geomantic figure of Carcer, Saturn in Capricorn. This card is in consequence one of great power. Libra, going over to Scorpio, and that's why we're talking about it today. Is of tremendous active critical energy and weight. To such people, goodwill, sincerity, and right mating are the essentials of success. And their danger is overweening ambition. Okay, that's what Crowley had to say, and you can tell, at least it is suggested by that commentary, that Crowley has had some kind of experience with a Prince of Cups, or more than one Prince of Cups in his day. In my book, okay, Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot, uh, I just have a few words to say about each of these cards too. uh, and here's what I had to say in addition to that. Uh, I start off by telling all of the details that I've got on my tarot deck. I print right on the card itself, but Harris doesn't put the degrees or the dates or what cards live inside. There's 3 small cards that live inside 12 of the court cards anyway. Okay, so I start with that. And I repeat, the moral characteristics of a person pictured in this card are subtlety, secret violence, and craft. He is intensely secret, an artist in all his way. He is, in fact, perfectly ruthless. Now, here's what I have to say. With style worthy of a comic book cover, Harris's Prince of Cups makes a spectacular entrance by bursting straight at us from a crashing wave. His chariot drawn by an enormous black eagle. His left hand grasps a cup out of which rises a coiled snake. In his right hand he holds an enormous lotus blossom. I have to believe that Crowley had an unpleasant experience with the Prince of Cups. Even if everyone born between October 13th and November 12th manifested all the dark and chilling qualities Crowley ascribes to this card, then 1/12 of the population of the planet would be melodrama villains. Okay, let's see. While that may have been true of Princes of Cups Lee Harvey Oswald and Leon Trotsky, now, I'm not comparing Leon Trotsky with Lee Harvey Oswald, okay? But they were secrety guys, okay, and had a whole kind of other life going on. While that may have been true of Princes of Cups Lee Harvey Oswald and Leon Trotsky, there is still great strength and potential in this card. Libra passing over to Scorpio is a very strong movement, but the active characteristics of air in the passive environment of water makes an uneasy combination. Like foaming bubbles exploding from an under-chilled bottle of champagne, these two elements do not care if they ruin the party or the furniture. They just want to get out and away from each other. Maybe that is why Crowley describes the Prince of Cups as, quote, completely without conscience in the ordinary sense of the word, and therefore usually distrusted by his neighbors, who don't want to get his ejaculatory bubbly things all over their furniture. Okay. I've known several Princes of Cups, including my father, and I must say they were indeed men of immense abilities who could not be, as Crowley noted, relied upon to work in harness. The same could be said. Now here's other Princes of Cups. So couldn't work in harness. Okay. Same could be said of Princes Martin Luther, Oscar Wilde, Friedrich Nietzsche, Timothy Leary, and Pablo Picasso. Now just cool blues and greens dominate the card as they do the cup, all court cards. Cups, okay. Anyway, that's my little adventure. Happy birthday if you are a Prince of Cups. Don't take it so hard, what Crowley said. Just think you're in good company up there with Timothy Leary and Pablo Picasso. Okay, speaking of tarot readings, I've got a tarot reading that I'm going to do here in just a couple minutes that I got to get myself prepared for. So until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.